Part 5. Gabby knows what this means. Marcus had been singing this song for the longest. He was going to make them rich. He told her he could make $1 million on the right night just like anyone else in the world, and she believed him as much as anyone else could. That quality of his is what always attracted her to him. No matter how impossible things seemed, and she saw them to be bad for him, he had a rare optimism. Ground zero and rock bottom looked like trampolines to him. How he always seemed to get up faster than he ever got down. She respected him for that, and much more. As far as the act of gambling, she wasn't an enthusiastic player, at least not at first. She didn't consider the sporadic times she parked at a slot machine gambling at all. Nor was Marcus, according to her mind years ago. It was just something to do for a while with free drinks along the way. But Marcus always had a different demeanor, inside and on the way to the casino. He was chill, but funny, yet emanated a certain confidence that she found sexy. Whenever he played craps, she loved to watch, as did everyone else around. He would tell jokes, make fun of the outcomes of the table. It never seemed like he was doing anything outside of playing a video game. It took her almost a couple of years to even notice that they never lost money. As time went on, she started to pay more attention to him. To her at first, he looked like a kid in an amusement park, just happy to be there like she was. That is, until she watched him make $40 into $11,000 in 1 hour. During one seemingly random day. It was intoxicating and incredible. As he cashed out, they began to leave the gaming floor. She wondered to herself, has he been doing this the whole time? A short answer, yes. That same night, she confronted Marcus on the way home. He gave her his standard answer, which is a question. He asked her to move into his place in Vegas, and she finally agreed that night. Like almost anything between them that she had disagreed with, she really digs her heels in, and that's final. But that day was different. That night was different. To Gabby, the air ripping through the window every time Marcus lit a cigarette felt different. And now their long-distance relationship would be over after almost a year. She didn't complain to him once, but the couple of days she saw him every other week was killing her, especially at night. When Marcus got an apartment out there last year, it seemed on a whim, so in her mind, she was right to reject it. At that time, they had other plans, another goal, different lives. But he had a belief that Las Vegas was home and something better was there. To him, almost anything was better than living in the constant fear and the obstinate nature with the racism of the South, Texas in particular. But she couldn't see it. It wasn't how she felt, nor did she share the same obstacles. But she used to be okay with that. But she hasn't been that girl in years. And right now, Gabby almost remembered the bad news that Marcus claimed would be his fate. He would win huge, all right, and they would take it. She'd seen a casino do that as well. That was last year in Mississippi. He was up a couple $1,000s, and the nice table staff when they arrived began to harass him every possible way while he was rolling the dice. The table boss changed the rules every 10 minutes, telling Marcus he couldn't set the dice, meaning place the numbers you want on top before you throw. Marcus accommodated politely, still rolling, doing well. Then she said he couldn't shake the dice in his hand, which is ridiculous and unfathomably untrue at any casino. Marcus would comply by picking up the dice, giving them a quick shake with his hand as he released, still rolling, doing well. When all else failed, they flat out said he can only pick up the dice and throw them as they are given. His next point of view was a 6, and the dealer slid him the dice with 4-3 on top. When he did that, Marcus threw the dice to where they purposefully bounced off the table and asked for new dice. He picked a new pair, threw them, and hit a hard 6. The whole table erupted in joy, shaking his hand, patting him on the back. A couple of older gentlemen threw a couple $100 chips to him as a courtesy. They had over a few $100s on that hard 6. The crowd embraced him, but the subtle tension was shared by all after witnessing the harassment. Bittersweet, as certainly they had to feel the same way as Marcus. Pissed off. So when Marcus came down on all his bets and picked up his winnings, on his next roll he rolled a 7 with just $25 on the line. He took the 50, then he passed on the dice. The crowd lamented in unison, begging him to keep going, some even offering to pay to put him on the line. But Marcus thanked everyone and wished them luck. Before we got 2 steps away, all we heard were people yelling at the dealers, "Colour me up!" meaning they were leaving too now. Marcus had a hell of a roll. We cashed out and left, vowing never to return back to that place. Right now, Marcus was taking a nap, and she was doing her best to join him. One thing she knew for sure is that when he wakes up, that's a good stopping point for me. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to go to www.didyoubuy.thebook.com. Remember, for just $7 a day, you can feed a 38-year-old African-American child. Cheers!